Most romance anime will make you feel warm, but a very specific few, and I mean maybe 10 across the last 5 years, will make you feel understood. Not because the characters are in love, but because they were lonely first, and the show knew exactly what that felt like before it gave them anyone. That's what this list is about. Coming in at number 10, A Condition Called Love. Hataru Hinase doesn't understand romantic love at the start of this show, not because she's naive, but because she genuinely never needed it. That's rare. Most romance leads are lonely and sad about it. Hataru is lonely and completely fine with that, until she isn't. The show earns its romance by treating her emotional starting point as legitimate, not as a problem that a boy will solve. That distinction is everything. Number 9. Insomniacs After School. Both leads can't sleep. That's the premise. But what it's actually about is how isolation at 3 a.m. feels different from isolation at noon. The show understands that insomnia is a loneliness multiplier. It puts you outside of normal social time, watching everyone else exist in a world you can't quite enter. Finding someone in that same excluded space isn't just romantic, it's the specific relief of being found. Number 8. Cherry Magic. The premise is that a 30-year-old virgin gains the ability to read minds through touch. But what the show is actually examining is what 30 years of emotional invisibility does to a person. Adachi hasn't been unlucky in love, he's been absent from it, a person who moved through the world without registering that he was someone worth noticing. The mind-reading power isn't a gimmick, it's the first time he ever has evidence that someone is thinking about him. Number 7. My Happy Marriage. Mio Saimori's loneliness isn't a personality trait, it's what happened to her. Years of deliberate exclusion by her own family built a person who genuinely does not believe she is worth warmth, not because she's shy, but because she has evidence. This show is precise about the difference between someone who hasn't been loved yet and someone who has been actively taught they don't deserve it. That precision is why it hits so much harder than it looks. Number 6. Skip and Loafer. Mitsumi Iwakura is enthusiastic, capable, and immediately liked by everyone around her. She is also, quietly, the loneliest character in the show. She's from a small town, she's never had close peers, and she has built an identity entirely around achievement because she didn't know what else to build it on. Her loneliness is invisible because it's disguised as energy. Sosuke Shima, who has the opposite problem, visible charm hiding visible emptiness, sees through it immediately. That mutual recognition is the entire engine of this show. Number 5. A Sign of Affection. Yuki Itose is deaf, and the show is careful never to treat that as tragedy, but it is honest about what sensory exclusion does to social experience. The way she moves through a world of sound she can't access, the specific extra effort required to connect, the loneliness of gaps in communication that others fill effortlessly. When Itsuomi talks to her without hesitation, without performing adjustment, just direct, normal, curious, the show frames it as the most radical thing anyone has done for her. Number 4. The Dangers in My Heart. Ichikawa is one of the most psychologically accurate depictions of a lonely teenage boy in recent anime. His internal narration is all contempt and dark fantasy, but the show is precise about what that contempt is covering. He doesn't hate people, he's terrified of them. His loneliness has calcified into a personality because it was easier than vulnerability. The genius of this show is that Ana Yamada, who has her own specific variety of loneliness, hypervisibility, the loneliness of being seen only as an image, finds him readable in a way nobody else does. Two kinds of alone recognizing each other. Number 3. My Dress-Up Darling. Wakana Gojo makes Hina dolls. He has exactly one passion and zero social context for it, because nobody in his life shares it or understands it. His loneliness isn't dramatic. It's the quiet, persistent isolation of someone who learned early that his interests made people uncomfortable, so he stopped sharing them. What Kitagawa Marin does, immediately, without hesitation, is treat his obsession as fascinating, rather than strange. She doesn't tolerate his world, she's curious about it. That is what dismantles his isolation, not romance. Genuine curiosity. Number 2. Horiyama. Both Hori and Miyura are performing. Hori is the capable, put-together class representative, and privately, she is exhausted and slightly feral at home. Miyura is the quiet, unremarkable background student, and privately, he has tattoos, piercings, and a history that nobody at school has ever been allowed to see. Their loneliness is the specific loneliness of people who are known publicly but unknown privately. When they accidentally see each other's real versions, not the curated ones, the show argues that recognition is more intimate than any confession. You can fall in love with the performance. You can only love the person. And number 1, Fruits Basket, the final. Every character in Fruits Basket is locked in a specific, self-contained loneliness. The Zodiac Curse is literally a metaphor for isolation, for being unable to be fully touched without causing harm. But what the final does that no other romance anime from this era does is resolve that loneliness not through romantic love alone, but through the harder, slower work of being witnessed. Toru doesn't fix anyone. She stays present long enough for each character to believe, for the first time, that presence is possible. The romance is real, but the loneliness was the architecture the whole story was built inside, and when it comes down, you feel every brick. Every show on this list made the same bet, that you'd be more invested in the love story if you understood the loneliness it came from. Most romance anime skip the before. These 10 treated it as the point. If you think I placed something wrong, or if there's a 2020s romance anime you think understood loneliness better than anything I listed, that argument belongs in the comments. I read all of them. If this kind of breakdown is what you're looking for, not just what to watch, but why it works, subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is.